Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday the 12th of February. So looking at the New Zealand dollar first, actually, the reason being we've just seen quite a big move come through overnight, which through the Asian session there, and mainly because the New Zealand Reserve Bank of New Zealand left interest rates untouched, but also quite hawkish once again with some of their comments in the post-rate decision statement, so on the press conference. So for those that have been following this for some while, maybe we could see once again with a retrace a break back to the upside. Now the big money is eased slightly out of the New Zealand dollar, but as I say, with the news and the way this is going, perhaps we could see as I say, a bit of a retrace and a continuation at some point. But that's always my book is for more of a swing position, but so I just bring that up to start share off with you in the first place. Now getting back to business as usual. Euro dollar, well, let's just go to dailies here first, and well, we popped in, got pretty close. Didn't actually, we certainly hit the 109 area, which I was looking for there, but we've not gone much through it there, just slightly through it, not into the prior lows there, not into the monthly S2. Now we put this doji in there. Is this a sort of a signal that, well, enough's enough, it's going to get a bounce here? There's so many people calling for it. I do wonder if it'll go lower. Once again, when you look at this 4-hourly chart, it's been back into its 4-hourly 8, and then it's sort of eased off a little bit. The proof of the pudding, whether we'll ever see this get back towards its weekly pivot or 50 MA 34, is whether it can start breaking through that 4-hourly 8. Looking at the shorter time frames here, we're just about to close out the 8 o'clock candle and a bullish engulfing, so well, could see a move to the upside, but we've still got to contend with that 60-minute 50. If you can break through that, then, well, as I say, could continue onwards at the moment, onwards there for a bit at least. The only concern is that there's so many people almost calling for it, and when that happens, well, it generally falls back a little. The pound continued its upward route yesterday, almost looking like a pivot swing there. I don't think it's technically quite there, but either side, it's put the higher low in there, confirmed yesterday. Pushed on through there, heading back towards its weekly pivot as I speak. It's not too far off it again. We can probably end up with this bullish engulfing. You see the amount of highs around this area. As I say, it does. To me, it's probably more bullish than anything else on this. If you can break this level, I'm sure there's a load of buy stops sitting up there. It certainly was yesterday. Buy stops were sitting to the upside of this market. So this is one of the markets that people are probably trying to sell a lot, but not getting away with it too much. Anyway, so I have to remain a little bit more bullish on the pound again once more with the patterns we're seeing in there. We do, however, have an untouched daily pivot in here. If anything, there's no news that should be affecting the pound today, but if anything, otherwise, technically, if it starts selling off, it may be a target. But for now, with the way things are going, I think the R1, the weekly pivot, may have a better opportunity of being hit. Okay, dollar yen. So dollar yen, very small movements on a daily basis still. Again, risk is back on in these markets. Equity markets are flying again, and well, this is just consolidating. Nothing much more to say there. Leave it alone. Aussie dollar may benefit a little bit from the Aussie dollar. From the New Zealand dollar was already moving. It's a sort of a moving ahead of it anyway. It was quite bullish there when it broke. As I said yesterday, it had broken the prior highs there, put a higher low in, confirmed that sort of move. Maybe we see a little bit more correction pushing through here. Daily R1 there at 67.43, not far away, but potentially because the lack of significant move in here, we could be coming back to these prior highs. Yeah, nothing more to really say there. It's has got an untouched daily pivot, that's the only thing, so it could get back towards that sort of area if it can't continue with its momentum this morning. That's pretty much the Aussie. Canadian dollar. So Canadian dollar, well, again, that has put a bearish pivot swing in there. It's just dancing with the daily 8 there at the stage. If it can break that, well, maybe from these prior highs here, so it's just sort of moved back into this sort of same sort of range that we've seen before. Over and over again we see this sort of range being hit. This is a weekly chart I've just gone out to, and the number of times it's been up there. Now at some point I'm sure it's going to break it, but for now it seems that we're seeing strength back into a slight bit of strength back in there as well. It looks like it's put a slightly lower high in on the way down here. Maybe it's heading further south. Early stages of a lot of these markets, sometimes they're just a fake move, or I say fake move, but just a bit of a rollover before they continue their move. But we'll see. It's quite a common thing I'm seeing here, is a slight bit of dollar weakness. Okay, looking at this S&Ps, well, money's certainly still been going into these. Let's just bring out onto the daily picture. So once again, another new high yesterday, and well, it's pitching up now. Maybe for another one today, but just look at the size of the bars. They're starting to shorten a little bit each time at the moment, which, well, it normally would suggest a bit of weakness, but I'm just looking through previously when we had these little short bars and the market still grew. So as I said many a time recently, there doesn't seem to be anywhere else for the money. There's no interest to be earned on bonds, etc., or very little. And there's nothing to be had, and where the market's got to go looking for some premium. Okay, that's pretty much it. News-wise today, we got the Fed chair testifying at 3 p.m. I would imagine he's going to say much more of the same as what he's been saying recently. Much of the US data has been pretty decent, so he's probably not going to be saying too much different, but just beware. 3 p.m. this afternoon. That's it for me. Have a great day. Bye for now.